So, welcome to all. So, on the fifth day, uh, today we are going to have another lecture, and that is not related to a topic directly, but indirectly it is related because it is related to our higher education only. As per direction from our sponsored agency AICT, we have to organize in such type of faculty development program the lectures on some recent topics, which includes the new education policy 2020. So to disseminate the knowledge about this new education policy 2020, we have an expert with us, Dr. Manisha Dave. She is a renowned teacher and associate professor in Government College, Jodhpur. She has a vast experience of 20 years in teaching, research, and in extension. She has published so many papers and also written 3 books. And she's also working on the different themes of the new education policy 2020. So it is really a proud moment that such an eminent personality is with us. And I will now put my mic before Dr. Manisha Dave to please deliver her knowledge to our participants. Yes, madam.
Good evening to all. I'm Dr. Manisha Dave. I'm thankful to coordinator sir who has invited me to deliver this lecture in AIC sponsored FDP. I'm thankful to you, and I will be speaking on new education policy 2020 and with regards to higher education. In India, a new education policy typically comes along only once every few decades. The first education policy was in 1968, introduced by the administration under Mrs. Indira Gandhi. This was replaced by her son.
Yes,
Miss,
yes, Dr. Manisha, can you share your PPT?
yes, I am sharing my PPT.
Please
Uh,
share it.
yes, okay. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, who was Prime Minister at that time, a few years later, in 1992, it was slightly modified again by
Your
Prime Minister.
PPT is not visible to us, so can you go to the share command?
Yes, I'm going to share command. I'm sharing with you.
Okay. No, no, it is not visible. Yeah, now it is visible.
Now is it visible? Okay.
Yes, now.
Actually, the details of the policy were released to the nation after cabinet approval on 29th June. The policy aims at 7 key issues of educational development, namely easy access for the students, ease of participation, quality
Uh,
of courses offered,
your
equal.
your slide is not moving, so you
Yeah,
please.
I will move. System
Okay, okay, okay,
efficiency,
okay, okay.
governance and management, and facilities of research and development and financial commitment were also involved. So we can say a good educational institution is one where every student feels welcomed and cared for, where a safe and stimulating learning environment exists, where a wide range of learning experiences are offered, and where good physical infrastructure with appropriate resources are available. I will be talking about the history of national education policies since independence, 1947. The Indian government sponsored a variety of programs to address the problems of illiteracy in both rural and urban India. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, India's first Minister of Education, envisaged strong central government control over education throughout the country with a uniform educational system. The Union government established first University Education Commission in 1948-49 and then Secondary Education Commission 1952-53. University Grant Commission UGC and the Kothari Commission 1964-66 to develop proposals to modernize India's education system. Nehru government adopted the scientific policy and sponsored the development of high quality scientific educational institutions such as the Indian Institutes of Technology, that is IITs. In 1961, establishment of National Council of Educational Research and Training NCRT, an autonomous organization to advise both the union and state governments on formulating and implementing education policies. Now I will be talking about the first education policy 1968, its features. It was based on the recommendations of the Kothari Commission. Indira Gandhi government announced the first NPE, National Policy on Education, in 1968. And its focus was on number one, equal educational opportunities. Number two, compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14. There was three language formula was adopted in secondary education, teaching Sanskrit language, an essential part of India's culture and heritage. Expenditure on education was increased to 6% of the national income. Then Indira Gandhi's son, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, introduced National Policy on Education in 1986 with focus on number one, removal of disparities and equalization of educational opportunity. Number two, expanding scholarships, adult education, recruiting more teachers from the SCs, incentives for poor families to send their children to school regularly. Number third, child-centered approach in primary education and launched Operation Blackboard to improve primary schools nationwide. Number fourth, expanded the Open University system with the Indira Gandhi National Open University created in 1985. Creation of the rural university model based on the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi to promote economical and social development in rural India. NPE 1986 expected to spend 6% of GDP on education. In 1986, NPE was modified in 1992 by Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. Program of Action POA 1992 Common Entrance Examination on all India basis for admission to professional and technical programs across the country. Then in 29th June 2020 NEP was got its approval on 29th June. And this policy, the main focus was on access and equality because unfortunately, the previous policies failed to achieve this main motto of access and equality. Implementation of these two policies with regards to quality remains largely incomplete. Unfinished agenda of NP 8692 is covered in NEP 2020. After a gap of 34 years, on 29th July 2020, Narendra Modi government approved a new national education policy. The NEP was released under the Ministry of Human Resource Development MHRD on 30th July 2020 with the motto of Educate, Encourage, Enlighten Triple E. Its aim is to prepare the children of India with 21st century skills. And it was founded on three pillars: research, innovation, and quality. And its objective was develop India into a knowledge superpower. Major problems that are currently faced by the higher education system are: there is rigid separation of disciplines with early specialization and streaming of students into narrow areas of study, limited access to higher education, particularly in socio-economically disadvantaged areas, limited teacher and institutional autonomy to innovate and excel. Inadequate mechanism for merit-based career management and progression of faculty and institutional leaders. Less emphasis on research at most universities and colleges, and lack of transparent and competitive peer-reviewed research funding across disciplines. Suboptimal governance and leadership of HEIs, ineffective regulatory system, not able to close down fake colleges, large affiliating universities resulting in low standards of undergraduate education. The principles that will guide both the individual institutions and the education system at large are flexibility, no hard separations, multidisciplinary and a holistic education, emphasis on conceptual understanding, creativity, and critical thinking, life skills, focus on regular formative assessment for learning rather than summative assessment, full equity and inclusion, synergy in curriculum across all levels of education, teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. Light but tight. Regulation by a single regulator for higher education, including professional education. Outstanding research as a prerequisite for outstanding education and development. Continuous review of progress based on regular assessment by educational experts. Substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system. Salient features of NEP 2020 with regards to higher education are its main objective was to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education, including vocational education, from 26.3% that was in 2018 to 50% by 2035. Present data in school education of gross enrollment ratio is grade 6 to 8 is 90.7%, grade 9 to 10 79.3%, and grade 11 to 12 is 51.3%. A commitment to achieve 100% GER across all levels by 2030. Holistic multidisciplinary education. More holistic and multidisciplinary education to develop all capacities of human beings intellectual, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional, and moral in an integrated manner. Such a holistic education shall be the approach of all undergraduate programs, including those in professional, technical, and vocational disciplines. Engineering students, IITs, will learn more arts and humanities. Students of arts and humanities will learn more science, and all will learn vocational subjects and soft skills. Curricula of all HEIs shall include community engagement and service, environmental education, and value based education. Multiple entry and exit options. Undergraduate degree program will be of 3 or 4 years programs. If they complete 1 year, then they will get diploma in a discipline. After completing 2 years, they will get advanced diploma. Bachelor's degree after completing 3 years, that is BA, BSc, BVoc, BCom, and professional. BLA, BLE with the chosen major and minor after completing 4 years. Both the programs may also lead to a degree with research if the student completes a rigorous research project in the major areas of the study. Master programs can be of 1 or 2 years. 2 years with 3 years bachelor degree and 1 year with 4 years bachelor degree. PhD program can be after master's degree or 4 years bachelor degree with research. And MPhil program is totally discontinued. Establishment of Academic Bank of Credit ABC, which would digitally store the academic credits earned from various recognized higher education institutes. Availability of professional, academic, and career counseling, as well as counselors to ensure physical, psychological, and emotional well being. Model public universities for holistic and multidisciplinary education at par with IITs, IIMs, etc., MERU's multidisciplinary education and research universities. Focus on research and innovation by setting up incubation centers, technology development centers, centers in frontier areas of research, greater industry academic linkages, and interdisciplinary research, including humanities and social sciences research. Rationalized institutional restructuring. By 2040, all HEIs will be transformed into multidisciplinary universities, colleges, and HEIs cluster knowledge hubs aiming to have 3,000 or more students. By 2030, there shall be at least one large multidisciplinary HEI in or near every district. Three types of HEIs will be there: research intensive universities, second, teaching intensive universities, and third, autonomous degree granting colleges. HEIs will support other HEIs in their development, community engagement and service, contribution to various fields of practice, faculty development, and support to school education. Single stream HEIs will be phased out over time and will move towards vibrant multidisciplinary institutions or parts of vibrant multidisciplinary HEIs clusters. A stage wise mechanism for granting graded autonomy to colleges through a transparent system of graded accreditation. Over a period of time, every college would develop into an autonomous degree granting college or a constituent college of a university. HEIs will have the option to run open distance learning, ODL, and online programs provided they are accredited to do so. The system of affiliated colleges will be gradually phased out over a period of 15 years through a system of graded accreditation. The present complex nomenclature of HEIs in the country, such as deemed to be university, affiliating technical university, unitary university, shall be replaced simply by university on fulfilling the criteria as per norms. Reimaging vocational education. Vocational education will be integrated into all schools and higher education institutions in a phased manner over the next decade. By 2025, at least 50% learners, schools, and HEIs shall have exposure to vocational education system. HEIs will offer vocational education either on their own or in partnership with industry and NGO. The BVOC degrees introduced in 2013 will continue to exist. Vocational courses will also be available to students of other bachelor's degree programs. Lok Vidya, that is, important vocational knowledge developed in India, will be made accessible to all students. Possibility of offering vocational courses through ODL mode will also be explored. constitution of National Committee for the Integration of Vocational Education NCIVE. Incubation centers will be set up in higher education institutions in partnership with industries. Then we will talk about National Research Foundation NRF. NRF to catalyze and expand research and innovation across the country. Objectives of NRF to permeate a culture of research through universities, to seed and grow research at universities and other HEIs where research capability is limited, to fund research in all disciplines competitively. Successful research will be recognized and implemented through linkages with governmental agencies, industries, and private philanthropic organizations. NRF will be governed by a rotating board of governors consisting of the very renowned researchers and innovators across the fields. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the budget 2021 earmarked funds of rupees 50,000 crore over 5 years for National Research Foundation. There will be also arrangement for financial support for students. Incentives to students belonging to SC, ST, OBC, and other SEDGs on merit. Private HEIs will be encouraged to offer large number of free ships and scholarships to their students. National Scholarship Portal will be expanded to support, foster, and track the progress of students receiving scholarships. Open and distance learning will also be there. ODL will be expanded to increase GRE to 50%. Measures such as there will be focus on online courses and digital repositories, funding for research, improved student services, and credit based recognition of MOOCs are to be considered at par with the highest quality in classroom programs. Internationalization. Internationalization of education will be facilitated through institutional collaborations and student and faculty mobility, entry of top world ranked universities to open campuses in our country. Meritorious Indian universities will be encouraged to set up campuses abroad. International Students Office at each HEI to welcome and support students. India will be promoted as a global study destination, providing premier education at affordable cost. There will be motivated, energized, and capable faculty. And success of HEIs depends on quality and engagement of its faculty. Well defined and transparent processes and criteria for merit based recruitment. Service conditions that are conducive to excellent teaching, research, and service. Proper teaching duties and student teacher ratio for pleasant teaching activity, interaction with students, conducting research, and other university activities. Freedom to faculty to design their own curricular and pedagogical approaches within the approved framework. Excellence will be incentivized through appropriate rewards, promotions, recognitions, and movement into institutional leadership. There will be performance assessment like peer reviews, student reviews, innovations in teaching and pedagogy, quality and impact of research, professional development activities, and services to the institution and society. Faculty who do not deliver on basic norms will be held to account. Equity and inclusion in higher education. Special emphasis, that is, admission to placements on socially and economically disadvantaged group SCDGs for higher GER, which include gender identities, particularly female and transgender individuals. Socio-cultural identities such as scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, OBCs, and minorities. Geographical identities such as students from villages, small towns, and aspirational districts. Disabilities, including learning disabilities and socio-economic conditions such as migrant communities, low-income household, etc. There will be effective governance on HEIs. Through a system of graded accreditation and graded autonomy in a phased manner over a period of 15 years, all HEIs will become independent, self governing institutions pursuing innovation and excellence. Upon receiving the appropriate graded accreditations and graded autonomy, academic, administrative, and financial, a board of governors shall be established for that institution. Equity considerations will also be taken care of while selecting the members. The Board of Governors will be empowered to govern the institution free of any external interference. The shall be responsible and accountable to the stakeholders through transparent self disclosures of all relevant records. BOG will observe regulatory guidelines of HECI through the National Higher Education Regulatory Council NHERC. Higher Education Commission of India, that is HECI, common regulatory body for entire education, higher education, excluding medical and legal education. HECI will have four verticals, independent and empowered bodies. Number one, NHERC, National Higher Education Regulatory Council for Regulation. Number two, NAC, National Accreditation Council for Accreditation. Number three, HEGC, Higher Education Grants Council for Funding. And number four, GEC, General Education Council for Standard Setting. Functioning of all the verticals will be based on transparent public disclosure and use of technology to reduce human interface and to ensure efficiency. The professional councils such as the ICAR, BCI, NCTE, COA, NCVET, PCI, etc., will act as professional standard setting bodies. Light but tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency of HEIs, to encourage innovation through autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Now we'll be talking about NTA, National Testing Authority, to offer a high quality aptitude test. NTA to offer specialized common entrance examination in science, humanities, languages, arts, and vocational subjects at least twice every year. NTA to offer CEE for professional courses. Teacher education is also important. A new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education NCF 21 will be formulated by NCTE in consultation with NCERT. By 2030, the minimum qualification for school teachers will be 4 years integrated B.Ed degree. 4 years integrated B.Ed will be a dual major liberal bachelor's degree in education as well as in a specialized subject. HEI is offering 4-year integrated B.Ed may also design a 2-year B.Ed for outstanding students having bachelor's degree in a specialized subject. 1-year B.Ed may be designed for outstanding students with a 4-year BLA. Stringent action will be taken against substandard and dysfunctional teacher education institutes TEIs. CPD for teachers at academic staff colleges, now Human Resource Development Centers, HRDCs, will be part of universities as per this policy. Blended Learning Teacher Training Programs, MOOCs, for CPD of teachers and school principals. Excessive teacher transfers to be halted, leading to better continuity with students. Policy suggests promotions should be based on merit rather than seniority. All PhD entrants will be required to take 8 credit courses in teaching pedagogy related to their chosen PhD subject. Exposure to pedagogic practices, designing curriculum, credible evaluation system is given to PhD scholars. PhD students will also have a minimum number of hours of actual teaching experience. Teaching assistantship must be created as part of all PhD programs. National mission for mentoring has also shall be established with a panel of outstanding senior retired faculty having the ability to teach in Indian languages and who would be willing to provide mentoring professional support to university college teachers. Professional education. Standalone technical universities, health science universities, legal and agricultural universities, or institutions in these or other fields will become multidisciplinary institutions. Healthcare education needs to be re envisioned. MBBS graduates must possess medical skills, diagnostic skills, surgical skills, and emergency skills. Integrative healthcare education system will be established. Greater emphasis on preventive healthcare and community medicines in all forms of healthcare education. Technical education will be within multidisciplinary HEIs, universities, with the opportunities to engage deeply with other disciplines. Agricultural education with allied disciplines will be revived. Legal education programs will be restructured to make it globally competitive, adopting best practices for wider access to justice and timely delivery of justice. NEP 2020 aims to prepare professionals in cutting edge areas such as AI, 3D machining, big data analysis, and ML, in addition to genomic studies, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and neuroscience, with important applications to health, environment, and sustainable living, which will be taken into undergraduate education for enhancing employability. Curbing commercialization in education is also important aspect of NEP 2020. All education institutions will be held to similar standards of audit and disclosure as a not for profit entity. Surpluses, if any, will be reinvested in the educational sector. Fees for private HEIs will be fixed with an upper limit. All fees will be fully disclosed and there will be no arbitrary increases during the period of enrollment of any student. Technology in education. Creation of National Educational Technology Forum NETF to provide a platform to use the technology to enhance TL, assessment, planning, administration, and management. Appropriate integration of technology into all levels of education to improve classroom processes, support teacher professional development, enhance educational access for disadvantaged groups, and streamline educational planning, administration, and management. Technology based education platforms such as Diksha Swayam will be better integrated across school and higher education. HEIs will play an active role in conducting research on disruptive technologies and in creating instructional materials and courses, including online courses in cutting edge domains. Establishing an apex advisory body for Indian education. Creation of Rashtriya Shiksha Ayog (RSA), National Education Commission (NEC) as an apex advisory body replacing the Central Advisory Board on Education (CABE). RSA will be responsible for developing, articulating, evaluating, and revising the vision of education in the country. RSA will be chaired by the Minister of Education and shall consist of 30 members, two-thirds of whom shall be eminent educationalists, researchers, and leading professionals from fields such as arts, science, business, health, agriculture, social work, etc., from India and from abroad. Other one-third members shall include the relevant union ministers in rotation, health, women and child development, finance, and chief ministers of states in rotation, vice chairperson of Niti Ayog, secretaries in the Ministry of Education, and senior bureaucrats and administrators. RSC will have a permanent secretariat headed by an executive director. Similar to the RSA, a Rajya Shiksha Ayog, RJSA, State Education Commission may be constituted chaired by Education Minister. Ministry of Education. To bring the focus back on education and learning, MHRD will be redesignated as the Ministry of Education MOE. So this was all about the salient features of NPE. So the government needs to have a systematic phased approach to successfully implement the NEP 2020 and provide quality education to all students irrespective of their place of residence. The NEP 2020 lays emphasis on making the education system holistic, flexible, and aligned to the needs of 21st century education. So, in the end, I can say that in order to accomplish all these goals, we must overcome all the execution challenges in a sustained manner for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha. It was really a very nice lecture, and really we are all delighted to have a very good knowledge from you regarding the new education policy. And you have also highlighted, because most of them are from science and engineering background, so you have highlighted some key points of the new education policies related to the technical field. Okay, so you have mentioned that in the technical field also, the Technical Education Institute will be a part of the multidisciplinary university. Okay, so that there can be sharing of knowledge on both the side. That is, the non-engineering people also get knowledge about the some engineering aspect, fundamental engineering aspects, and the engineers also get about the non-engineering subjects also, like commerce, music, art, literature, philosophy, and all this. And an important thing which I personally highlighted in 2014 in one article, that the agriculture education should be made compulsory for all streams, and the same is being highlighted in the new education policy. Okay, so because agriculture, the main product of the agriculture is the food grains, for which our life is based on food grains only. So people should know that what farmer is doing, how much hard work is involved in farming and irrigation and all this. So it should be in a completely in a practical way. Okay, that people should know, even the scholars should know, that how agriculture is being done. Then only can they realize the importance of agriculture and the farmers. You have also highlighted some points related to the research also, that government is going to establish a National Research Foundation, NRF. Okay, so it is not like, so from after its implementation, there will be no separate agency. There will be single agency. At present, we have UGC for science, arts and commerce. For technical, we have AICT. For medical, we have another thing, another wing. So like this way, we have different wings for different subject. But in the coming year, we will have only one foundation. Okay, so really we are really delighted that we are being enriched by you regarding the new education policy 2020. And if anybody has any question, then questions are welcome. Otherwise, we will have a 5 minutes break and then we'll start the next session. Okay, so any question, please, from the participant side? All participants are requested to please post some questions also, so that the it will highlight that yes, you are active, and the speaker will also come to know that yes, he or she has been heard.
I want to say that there are certain challenges in implementation of NEP 2020, like there is lack of infrastructure. There are certain states and territories will have to enforce the plans properly. There is lack of funds also, and there is lack of teaching faculty also. So government has to undertake certain measures for improving the infrastructure of universities, colleges. For they have to start, I think my suggestion is that government should undertake projects like PPP, public private partnership models, which are similar to build, operate, transfer infrastructure projects. Then only we will be able to successfully implement our new education policy. What do you say, sir?
Own opinion is that right from the beginning, the day I have joined the higher education as a student as well as a teacher, I was of the view that the higher education policies are framed by central government. The regulations are formed by the central government through UGC or AICT or any other agency. And but the higher education, most of the institutes are run by the state government, and there will always be a contradiction between them regarding the funds, regarding the filling requirement and all this. So of my of the opinion that all the higher education institute should be under the central government umbrella only. Okay, so that everything will become uniform throughout the country. The regulation will also be implemented. There will be no problem from recruitment point of view, and also the laws will be uniform. Okay, so then only one agency, that is the central government, either through their national agency or through UGC or AICT or anything, they have to think that how to have a quality in our higher education system. Otherwise, what happens that uh, central government makes policies good, policies for the faculty, policies for the student, but they are not being implemented by the state government, or state government make any policy, then this is not been endorsed by the central government, and in this way development or the quality does not come in the higher education system. So my I am of the opinion that all higher education should be under one umbrella.
So, in present scenario, I can say that the government must issue guidelines to state governments and union territories on enforcing a common implementation plan. Fixed deadlines must be assigned to each state for achieving each of the milestones in order to make the NEP implementation process smoother and synchronized across the country. Uh, it is not possible to make all universities central. So in that situation, they should implement a implementation plan properly, so that state governments can adopt it properly.
No, in fact, the policy is there, okay, and there is a complete in the constitution also it has been mentioned. But in the constitution also, the one is the mention that the if anything is being undertaken by the state government, then it is the state government who has to going to decide whether to follow the guidelines of central government or not. Okay.
Yes, that
So
is
in many states you will find that like in Gujarat and all, still the people are not getting the seventh pay commission.
yes,
Okay,
they are not getting.
they are not getting.
State has not implemented.
So if you are not providing the in the same country same salary
Same.
to the people, then they will definitely get frustrated and the things will not work as desired by the government that there should be quality should be there. So only guidelines as per the present rule or present status provided by the constitution, guidelines can be provided. Now depends upon the state whether they follow or not. Okay,
Yes, yes.
so again, at the very central level, an act is required. You know, the state has to implement it somehow. Just
Yes,
as we have right to education up to 14 years of age. Okay, so similar type of right to for higher education should be there. That every teacher, every student should be treated as the equal par in any part of the country. Okay, so that can be done, but hope in the coming future that will be implemented. And many new things have been incorporated in the new education policy, like vocational education is also there. Okay, at present government is running vocational education through different institutes like ITIs and all this, but now in this policy the government has made it a part of a higher education. Okay, so it is very good because India in need of such skilled person, not only knowledgeable person but skilled person. So in the future we hope the consequences will come, the good consequences will come related to this policy. So thank you, Dr. Manisha, that you have
and I also
spared
want to
your
thank you for giving me this opportunity to deliver lecture on NEP. Thank you once
okay.
again.
Thank you for sparing your golden valuable time with our participant and sharing your knowledge and enriching our participant with on such a topic which is of the national level. So once again, thank you. So we will again meet on some another platform. Uh, Thank you from the participant and from my institute side also. Thank you very much.
Thank
So